Hello and welcome back to Mass Effect 2. Last time we explored the galaxy. This time we will probably be finishing exploring the galaxy because there's really not that much left. And I think there are still a few assignments. One or two. And then we have the DLC to go through. And then we have the other DLC to finish. And then we're done. So, we have investigate abandoned mine. So let's get to it. Anomalous life signs detected. Something happened to the facility staff. And alien signatures are there. So we don't really know what we are dealing with. So let's take something balanced. Legion, obviously, and it's been a while since we got Grunt. So let's take Grunt. Rifle on. Yeah, maybe take the Vindicator. Grunt can also take it, and I guess the Scimitar is okay. Well, now we have an idea of what happened to whoever was working this mine. Find out what happened to the staff of the abandoned mining facility. Something strange has happened in the mining facility on Equitas. Whatever happened, it either chased off or killed the facility staff. Well, we need to investigate further, in any case. Sniper rifle isn't the best in these kind of scenarios. And you definitely need a shotgun. So I think I'll switch also. Oh, there's a container. Interesting. And a skeleton. Credits in the container. Quite an interesting container there. Right, let's go inside and see what goes on. Husks, of course. So as usual, I can use biotics to destroy them outright.
Too late! Now you're dead!
There it is. And there's quite a lot of them, so let's use biotics.
Take it!
Are there any more? No. Got iridium in the mine, so is this an iridium mine? And also a data pad. If you're reading this, get the hell out of this place, now! No, we got this, we got this. And am I missing something over here? No, it doesn't look like it. Yeah. So let's go forward. There's no point in cover, and in fact there's not a whole lot of cover to begin with. Yeah, and there's more iridium, so this is probably an iridium mine.
Forward.
Oh,
Nothing.
look at that. Oh, there's an explosive container. There's an explosive person. And there's another explosive container. That's probably overkill. Yeah. Gonna save that one for if anything goes from out there. Iridium. Let's make sure not to explode ourselves. Oh. Oh! That's a lot of enemies right off that. Phew, that was close. There's the rest. The drone seems to be quite confusing the husks. That's nice. Even though the drone isn't really doing anything, aside from standing in the way. Well, this part of the mine is closed. Okay, there's a locker to bypass. And some more heat sinks, always useful in this case. Oh. That was quite lucky. 1,000 credits. More iridium. And I can hear more husks, but it's not clear where they are. Well, this is kind of an obvious setup, isn't it? There's probably going to be a lot of them. That's an interesting way of entering.
Now you're dead.
There's one going next to the explosives. Oh, and there's an abomination. That didn't actually do much to the abomination. That was surprising. And there are logs, a medical station. And some more heatsinks. Mine logs, Foreman Lawrence. Alien machine discovered. Smithson's men dug out some kind of alien machine today. Like nothing I ever saw. Called up some of my contacts and found out there's a market for this kind of thing. Looks like some squints over at Alliance Risk Control are willing to part with a ton of credits to get their hands on one of these things. Far be it from me to deny them a chance to pay me. A strange glow. Cooper and Jurgensen say they saw that damn alien thing glowing, and hell if I'm going near it to prove them wrong. I don't get paid enough to expose myself to weird alien artifacts. I have to admit, though, that's an awful pretty sound coming from that back room. Something's different. Cooper, Jurgensen, and them ain't doing so well. Not feeling so good myself either. Stay near the machine, feel better. Not sure I want to let them Alliance folk take it. I think it should stay right here with us. So, ERCS wants Reaper artifacts. That's probably a bad sign. See, heavy weapons crates there. The objective is this way. Let's get over there. And now objective is that way. So I think there are two ways to go around this then. Yes.
Shepard, I detected powerful alien signature deep within the mines. It appears the device is the source of the husks. It is likely that destroying it will stop them.
Emergency field engaged.
Well, now I'm overheating. Should switch back to the sniper rifle, I think. Whoop.
You're hitting me? me, Shepard.
Well, you're in the way. Well, that works too. Even with the sniper rifle, I'm running out of clips. Yeah, that's a lot of them. Need a surprising amount of shots to get them.
Worthless.
Oh. Well, at least the sniper rifle is relatively accurate even from short range.
Trouble. Burn it. Die.
Nice. Why hello there! Ow. Yeah, that's all of husks. Well, that's one way to get rid of them. There's still one left here.
Feel the blood rage.
And are we done? Yes, we are done. Phew. That was something. I'm not sure where the Legion is. Yeah, so this would have been an okay sniping spot. But it worked out anyway. Alright, let's move forward. So where is this Reaper device that they're talking about? Why am I not getting cooled down? Walker to bypass, and another medkit.
Alert.
Oh. Wait, what? Why is there something in this direction?
Blood rage.
Because this guy.
Burn it. Die. Hold fire, Shepard.
Welp. Yeah. That's one way to do it.
Time to fight.
Nice.
Target processed. Target
More of them.
eliminated.
How many employees did this mine have? They just keep dropping down. Should go upwards again.
Nothing can hurt me.
And we're done. For the time being. Ooh. That was something. Any more husks? No, not here. Now let's bypass the locker now that this is relatively safe to do. There we go. 450 credits. And there's a bomb. So that is a Reaper artifact. It is a bit similar to Object Row. Not quite as big, though. Yeah. Let's not spend too much time next to it. And there are bombs, so let's blow it up.
Hold fire, Shepard!
No. Stop being indoctrinated. Destroyed Reaper indoctrination device. 7,500 credits, 2,000 iridium. So it's quite similar to what we've seen in the first game, with all the mines that have been overrun by husks because of indoctrination as well. So that is still going on. Alright, so we're done with this place. And we're done with the Minas Wasteland. So in fact, the only things that are left... the only thing that is left is the Ismar Frontier, looks like. And just to make sure... everything's 100%. Oh yeah, and the Hourglass Nebula, of course, but we will be doing that later too. Yeah, so let's just go to the Ismar Frontier. And I'm not sure if I need any more fuel. In fact, I think the only place that is not explored in this star cluster is the mass relay system, which we are in right now. So let's explore it. Aquila, that's eagle in Latin, I think. Or hawk. Lepini. A hydrogen methane gas giant, Lepini and its moons have been cursorily scanned by space probes and found to have little in the way of rare resources. The galaxy at large considers it unremarkable. Lepus is a hare. So this might be the Latin name system. Vecchio. Vecchio is a moderately sized terrestrial world with a thin, hot atmosphere of carbon dioxide and nitrogen. Initial surveys found trace amounts of iridium, but little else of interest in the silica desert sands that cover much of the surface of the planet. On a recent tour, the Alliance surveyor ship Coupe discovered a group of partial graves hidden in the equatorial mountain ranges. The ancient skeletons in the burial sites are obviously humanoid, but incomplete and poorly preserved, which has made them difficult to identify. Fragments of primitive ceramic grave goods were also found nearby. This raises further questions about who once traveled to this inhospitable planet, since the closest garden world, Volturno, has no intelligent life. Human universities are planning further archaeological investigations. Curious. It doesn't seem too bad. The distance is good, period is good, radius is pretty good as well. Day length is longish, but still okay. Pressure is okay. Quite hot though. Lower gravity, because of lower size as well. Yeah, it's interesting how that works. It's only like a grave site. But maybe they haven't found something more. Something that Liara should be going to investigate. Perhaps they were Prothean. Volturno. A so-called super-Earth, Volturno is home to organic life, but is nevertheless uninhabitable for the near future. Currently in an ice age, most of the planet, from the latitude of 30 degrees north or south, is a frozen wasteland, and so most organic life, limited to algae and lichens, resides near the equator. The strong gravity prevents any sapient species but Elcor from thriving on the planet, and the Elcor cannot breathe the planet's atmosphere, which contains lethal amounts of carbon dioxide in addition to its oxygen. Small packs of Vorchas squatters are attempting to take the planet for themselves illegally, but most of them live miserable existences in the planet's crushing gravity and die from falls and medical complications. Only terraforming on a massive scale would turn Volturno into a habitable world, and the Elcor lack the political capital with the Citadel Council to begin such an effort. Yeah, it's quite far away, quite large. Okay, day length though. A bit low pressure, cold, and high gravity. 3 times the gravity, that is pretty high. Not sure what the gravity is on the Elcor homeworld. Dakuna, I believe? Metaponto. A hydrogen-helium gas giant, Metaponto has developed a helium-3 fueling station, funded by Elcor business interests who hope to bring enough attention to the system to attract terraforming investors and thus eventually develop Volturno as a habitable world. Thus far, they have met with little success. Yeah, terraforming quite expensive. Polino. A relatively small hydrogen-helium gas giant, Polino remains undeveloped, while its sister planet Metaponto garners all the attention. This was not always the case. In 2180, news stories seeded throughout the extranet claimed that Element Zero was being found on Polino's moons in record loads. This turned out to be a scam spread by the Dunawurachum Consortium, an Elcor corporation trying to scare up investors. After a small fleet of space probes scouted the area, the hype quickly deflated, and the myth only persists now in unwanted extranet email messages. Spam. So this is an Elcor interest system, basically. Interesting to know. But I believe that is all of the places that I wanted to visit in this place. So we are now going for the last Firewalker mission in the Phoenix Massing. And And there's a whole bunch of things going on around here. So let's... Not even sure if I will need more fuel or not. 860. Yeah, I will probably need more. If I top up, I should have just enough to explore the whole system. Alright, let's explore the mass relay system first. By normal standards, our large rock planet, Pahor, fiery, is constantly scourged by the white, bright giant it orbits. A dense atmosphere featuring hydrogen, helium, and clouds of vaporized magnesium float over its iron-rich core, making for a truly hellish landscape. Its spectacular temperature prevents any practical exploitation. Interesting. So it's quite large indeed. And the surface temperature is 1445. And the pressure is 90 times Earth atmosphere? How? Huh. That is interesting, because it doesn't look like it from the image. It looks like it has no atmosphere. But apparently it's really dense. So it's extremely hot. Sarapai, ever upward, is the second planet orbiting the white star Tasra. Sarapai's pressure cooker atmosphere of carbon dioxide and ethane serves as a greenhouse to an already boiling hot surface. Cobalt compounds are frequently found on its crust, giving spectacular blue tinges to its land. Scans from orbital probes indicate its crust contains deposits of platinum, likely to be as unexploited as its sister planet Pahor. I wonder in which language this is. And yeah, just as much of a pressure cooker. So, a combination of really high pressure plus really high energy output from the star. Pretty difficult to work with. Ishasara. A gas giant, Ishasara is composed mostly of hydrogen and nitrogen. Its orbit in recent years has taken it close to the mass relay in the system, making it a popular stop for scoop ships to refuel the hydrogen in their thrusters before moving on. The Hanar, maybe? Well, I guess we can go explore things. I want to finish the Firewalker mission first, so let's go there first. To Komos. Where we have 2 planets. Trigestus is a gas giant, named for the first Solarian astronomer to predict planets' occurrences mathematically rather than through direct observation. It has a faint ring system and 3 moons, Sidacha, Norum, and Bestia. High-altitude clouds can be seen casting shadows on Trigestus' lower atmosphere, where concentrations of methane and ammonia give it an azure color. The planet is believed to be an extrasolar capture. Solarians, eh? I guess the moons are also named after Solarians in that case. And Latesh. Yeah, that does sound Solarian.
I have detected an anomaly.
Latesh, translated from a Solarian dialect as "it's still winter," has an almost habitable temperature and abundant water, but shows no signs of life. Regular supervolcanic eruptions in the southern hemisphere have shrouded the sun and led to a climate even more bone-chilling than usual. So the mean temperature would be minus 35, which is already quite cold. Colder than the planet in the Ice Age. And with a shroud it's minus 53. Really cold. And it's quite small, quite far away. Okay, pressure, a bit low gravity. That's interesting. It's an anomaly without any signal.
Probe launched. Something on our sensors.
Planetary scans detect signals from sensor pods left on the planet's surface. These pods may contain valuable data. Warning, surface temperatures are extremely low. Advise keeping hammerhead exposure to the cold at an absolute minimum. Alright. And we have this already in our journal as Project Firewalker Geth Incursion. Data reveals that Dr. Case was interested in the anomalous weather patterns on the planet Latesh. He had scattered probes on the planet's surface in the hope that the unnatural atmospheric conditions might be related to Prothean technology. If we could recover the data from the probes, it could shed some light on Dr. Case's research. Okay. Interestingly enough, it says Geth Incursion. So we will probably have to deal with the Geth. But that is all going to be for next time. And probably we will also be starting the last DLC. See you then. Later.